running like a couple of minutes late, but I'm here now, so all in all, it's a net win. Hello, peoples. How are we doing? It's Thursday. I checked. Welcome in to Mr. Coolness, Alkash, Sir Khalid, and myself. Oh, and Aliki. Today, all the world's a stage, and all the men, women, binary peoples are merely players. To quote the bard. I did put and all the people merely players, but it doesn't scan the same, so need to work on that one. But anyway, we're playing Bad End Theatre. It has a flowchart. It is a visual novel, but hopefully it's a different setting than usual. So it shouldn't feel samey. But it has a flowchart. You know how much I love a flowchart. I get very excited when I have a flowchart. Anyway, Bad End Theatre is an ID at Xbox game. Thank you to ID at Xbox for the code for this one. It is a play anywhere, handheld compatible title that came out on the 10th of July 2025 on Xbox. It is developed by Nom Nom Nami. Okay, that's cute. And published by Serenity Forge. Nom Nom Nami also did Syrup and the Ultimate Sweet. I do not know if we streamed that, but we have played it. Okay, and Serenity Forge, I believe, has published quite a few, so yeah, we've got like 3 pages on TA. Anyway, besides the point, it was originally released in October 2021. It is available on Steam, GOG, Google Play, PlayStation, itch.io, Humble, Nintendo, and of course we're playing on Xbox today. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, and it did do one of those limited edition physical run things, but just for like Switch, I think. So it is also available on Switch. I don't think I said that. I may have said that. I'm going to repeat it again. Anyway, price-wise on Xbox, you're looking at £8.39 or $9.99. It has been on sale about a month ago. It's, you know, it is a game where we select our protagonist and explore a variety of terrible fates. The decisions I make in one story will affect the others, and I can toggle these behaviours to open up new paths. Hence, flowchart. Every path leads to a bad ending. Can you find a way to save this unlucky cast? Playtime 2 to 3 hours to see all endings. It is a puzzle game, so this varies wildly. It has an estimate of like 1 to 2 hours, but I guess that's if you're following a walkthrough. We'll see what we can get to today. I'm recording, we have the right game and title, and everyone's here. Hello. And we're not off on a yellow colour. Ooh, and we started the game before my second alarm went off. Oh jeez.
Nice, 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 nice.
Sometimes it said nice, or, you know, there was the very much, it was interesting. I think it was because of the capital letters. Yeah, oh my gosh, that was just crazy. Wild, sorry. Hi Raina, and also you win. You have a 405 stream streak and 69 nices. Yes, you hit a 69 sub streak, which means that I should be somewhat on 69 months now. Yeah, there we go. I also have 69, but I don't get a thing to post, so boo hiss. Hi Jesse. Hi Raina. Welcome in. Apparently we have a content warning, blood, gore, violence, and strong language. But it's my stream, so, you know, Let's have a quick look at settings. So, ooh, okay, skip. No, we don't want to skip. We do want to make the text go a little bit faster because we, I'm just going to give you a thumbs up and wait till you make the decision. I have to make so many decisions at work. Sometimes I just like decisions being made for me. But that sounds good. All right. I think we're good on the sound. Oh, there. Oh, it's made for Renpie. Renpie. But yes. Num num yummy. Num num yummy. I'm just gonna say it one more time. So yeah. We are going to... Ooh, music. Enter. Enter. We ready? We're ready. We're ready. But yeah. So yeah, apparently on Saturday we're playing either Lego Party or Talos. I like. Welcome to Bad End Theatre. On this stage we should be toying with fate. Right, let me move my laptop. Center myself. Let me fix my mic, which went a bit wonky earlier because, well, I was doing things with the window. I like it so it's just visible. So it's like I'm just sitting here, but also I have a mic. But yes, hello. I'm going to say it one more time. Hello. Welcome, gentle viewers. We are playing Bad End Theatre today. And I'm in a good mood. Yeah, I'm in a good mood. It's been a good day. I feel like it's been a productive day. I feel like I didn't get to the end and go, shit, I didn't do stuff. Dearest gentle viewers. I know, right? I have also been rewatching Bridgerton season 4 because I needed to watch something I'd seen before so that my brain could rest. So many decisions the last couple of days. Brain is full. Ugh. So much information, I think. Anything else? Yeah. So, right, okay. So save is Y. Okay. Ah, backlog is literally the log. Right, okay. Back, auto, we don't want to skip. Cool. You will make many choices, unlocking darker and darker paths, all in order to witness a lovely variety of tragic events. So, Alkesh should like this one. He likes it when people die in the games. I'm adding in the games just because I don't think he's a violent person. But we do laugh when people die in games. It's funny. Especially if everybody dies. Especially if I'm trying to save everyone. I'm still miffed about the death of one of the characters in the game I was playing with Leaky on PlayStation. The one with Rami Malek, the guy that played Mr. Robot. I think that's his name. Rami maybe. I'm very bad with the names. We know this. And I made one bad decision because I was doing the decisions. And then it meant that not everyone was alive at the end, and I'm really sad. Alright. Okay. Until Dawn and Rami Malek. I was close! Thank you very much. We were playing that. Alright. Tragic events. But first, allow me to explain how it works. We should play that again, like with different choices, maybe, at some point. Possibly. To begin the tutorial, select whichever doll you like. Okay. I'm the human doll, or I'm the demon doll? Well, I mean, we're Angel SK, so we're going to be the demon doll, right? You're going to be the demon doll. You're a first-looking guy just minding business. How will you interact with the human doll? Oh, I'm going to play nice. You try and make friends with the human doll, but it kills you in cold blood. How ruthless. Oh. You've first bad ending, but don't worry, the story need not end here. Let's reset the stage and try again. Oh yeah, achievements. So there are 48 of them. Wow, I didn't actually know that. But they're all obtainable. Oh my gosh. I love this. And okay, aside from the secret ones, they're all shouty. Consumed maiden. Okay, but they are all obtainable because it does have a completion estimates on. Usually I read out how many. I forgot that this time. Remembering the strat. I can the controller still. I will do that part. I can do that. It's just I don't know the silly symbols. And hi Havor. Oh right, stretch. Yes. I'm paying attention. They did just make tea and it is quite hot, but it should be fine. It is drinkable. Excellent. Thank you, Havor. I have done really good on hydration today. Another reason why I'm probably feeling so good. It is Lady Grey, which is Earl Grey with a hint of citrus. I just topped up with hot water the tea I had earlier. So, yes, I had mango green tea this morning. Do I have the same tea often? Yes. It depends whether I need to make a tea quickly. I have a whole bunch of Lady Grey tea bags, but I also have an entire like shelf and cupboard of loose leaf tea. So I will try and make a loose leaf tea, which was the green mango this morning. You brought a retro handset and it has X, Y, A, B buttons. They're in the wrong order and the wrong colors. Yeah, I mean, it's like every time I play Nintendo now, it's like, excuse me, everything's backwards, but that's what I started with. So at some point, it was weird on Xbox. Also, at some point, I stopped needing inverted controls, except when flying. And I can never tell which way I need to do it when I'm flying until I've crashed into something, you know. Yeah, mostly new tea. Sometimes I do repeats. I have like 16 of my current tea rotation by my kettle, which makes it easier to pick. We're amazed Nintendo hasn't swapped these buttons because everyone that plays Nintendo is used to them and would complain if they swapped the buttons. Maybe they should offer an additional controller that you can buy with the buttons the right way round. I'd totally pay for that if I actually owned a current Nintendo thing. I don't. Still on my GameCube and my Wii. They should standardize. The world uses USB-C. I mean, it does, but also, does it really? Because, you know, only newer devices. Alright, this time try controlling the other doll. I'm the human doll. You control the human doll. You're a friendly little guy just minding your own business. How do you interact with the demon doll? Play nice! You and the demon doll are able to set aside your differences and become friends. Why, this isn't a bad ending at all. I should have written out this possibility. It's just not suited to my theatre whatsoever. You know how the story goes, you can set the doll's behaviour in advance. As you saw, these behaviours will automatically set to whatever you chose during your last playthrough. They were, and I have to admit, when I went to Lisbon, I was quite happy that pretty much every single one of my devices, except for my work laptop, could just be charged on the same charger. I mean, I took backups, but it was nice to know. Ooh, dodgeball! Can't remember if that's a real or a fake one. Probably a real one. I imagine there's like 3 dodgeball games on TA. And 7% chaos. I mean, what is it? Dodge, duck, dive, dip, and dodge. Those are the 5 Ds of dodgeball. Jesus Christ, I actually remembered them all. How long has it been since I watched that movie? When did it come out? I want to say like 20 years, right? And I got them right because I know that Dodge was on there twice. Hi, Layla. Sorry, I'm just, I feel like I'm on a nostalgia kick for quoting old films today. I totally quoted 10 Things I Hate About You in the Idea Xbox stream and no one knew what I was going on about. 2004, 22 years ago, so I was close. I mean, I was accurate. It could have been 20 years ago that I watched it. I'm fairly certain it was like a university thing. So, yes. I've not seen it in 20 years. So, it is very likely that it has been at least 20 years. Bilious! Oh, and Bilious! Hello, Bilious! Sorry, screen moved. Ooh! You're getting close to a milestone! I need to update my spreadsheet for the last few days because I haven't. And keep an eye on who's close to milestones because I don't always catch them. Still need to do that update to the code. Huh. I just had a thought. Okay, I'm not gonna let me just write down this thought. But yes, hopefully everyone is doing well. I mean, yeah. How is everyone doing? Okay, I wrote down my thought. Ooh, analog hi for Lady Magritte. I hope you are doing okay, lovely. This game was fun. Good. I'm hoping to have fun. It has a flowchart. I like flowcharts. Well, at least I think it has a flowchart. It looked like a flowchart in the screenshots. I hope you are doing okay. Congratulations on your daily. I don't know why you specifically got congratulations, but I feel like, you know, you could do with some luck based on your past week, and I'm really sorry, and I hope you're okay, and the cats are being nice to you. 'Cause, yeah. So, as you saw, these behaviours automatically set to whatever you chose during last playthrough, but now you can turn each one on and off without having to replay from that doll's perspective. Yes, my theatre actually doubles as a puzzle game! Now try turning the doll's behaviours on and off to see different outcomes. Okay. Alright, so human doll... not hostile. Okay, so if we make them hostile and wicked, you control the demon doll. You're a first-looking guy just minding your own business. How do you interact? Attack it. You both attack each other at once and die together. End tutorial. I'm done. Do you understand how to play? Yeah. This game saves your progress automatically, so just relax and collect all the bad endings at your own pace. Now, without further ado, let's start the show! Bloop! Tutorial. Welcome to Bad End Theatre. I just thought it sounded really fun. It's like the whole point is getting bad endings, which just seems absolutely hilarious to me. You are the hero, you are a maiden, you are an underling, you are the overlord. Let's just start with the hero, because I like the hero's hair. Excuse me. They're almost me, except they seem to be wearing a belt on their head. Why are they wearing a belt on their head? This is odd. I do not wear a belt on my head. Also, you know, my hair's doing a floofy thing because, well, it's my hair. Maybe I should get more layers. I don't know. Anyway, something. Apparently, yes, we are having the high energy. Unhelpful at the end of the day, especially when I'm out of spoons. How can I be out of spoons and have high energy? Well, I'd like to introduce you to a thing called ADHD plus autism plus... yeah. Go figure. Anyway, something. Yes, I was going to see what genre I am today. Shoot 'em up. Okay. I feel that's a bad genre at the moment. Chaos. No chaos. Yeah. Okay. That tracks. We're good. Anyway, hopefully everyone's okay. If you're playing anything cool or read, seen, watched anything cool lately, do let me know. Oh, I've earned some reward points. Oh yeah, it's the first time I've turned on my console today. Yeah. You relate so much to the end of the day. To the end of the day, you have flappy things. Because you relate to the having energy but being out of spoons. It is a weird dichotomy. Other hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. Your life has been rather ordinary, aside from the occasional heroic adventures, fighting evil monsters and whatnot. Sorry. You are told a maiden from your village has been kidnapped and is likely to be held captive at the nearby demon overlord's castle. Okay, well clearly, you know. You explained yourself fine. I just had to backtrack on my thought train to find out. You know, it made perfect sense. Just required me remembering what I said. You know, my short-term memory does things. But yeah, no, you explained yourself fine. It was me In fact, no, we got there. So, no apologies needed. You were fine. I figured it out. We're all good. Stop apologizing a lot. Like, for stuff that doesn't require apologies. New rule. Claude, make note. Oh wait, no, I'm not in my coding session. Anyway, I feel like when we play as a maiden, we're totally trying to rescue ourselves and screw the being held captive. Who even puts a village right next to where an entire demon army hangs out? I don't get it. You're happy to protect the townspeople, though you were born to play this role. You head off on your adventure to rescue the maiden. But demon soldiers block your path. You could kill them to gain experience. Bravely slaughter the evil creatures. You make quick work of the vile creatures who stood in your way. You feel much stronger now. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gates. You are faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. There's no way to sleep past this... sleep? We could sleep past the monsters. I feel like I'm putting on a voice, but not particularly thingy voice. I don't know if this is... I feel like I need now a different voice for each character set. This one's sort of slightly plummy. I don't actually know, you know, English plummy. Anyway. Why does the week of this begin on Wednesday? Thursday. It's Thursday. Could have done with this yesterday. Falling asleep. Work. Anyway, something. There's no way to sneak past these monsters if you want to reach the overlord. Can you not like climb over the wall or something? We've got dutiful or ask if they'll let you in. You attempt to explain why you've come, but the monster before you is eyeing you with suspicion. You can't help but notice they can't help but notice the demon blood from earlier you haven't had the chance to wash off yet. Whoops. You have no choice but to fight the army in self-defense. Oh well, more experience points for you. You make your way through the castle, fending off all the demons that stand in your way. The overlord appears, demanding to know what the hell you're doing murdering all her soldiers. You get straight to the point and ask her where the maiden is. She feigns ignorance, a convincing act, but you won't be fooled. If the maiden isn't here, then what happened to her? You can only see one answer. The overlord definitely captured her. In fact, it's possible she's already been devoured. Thinking about that poor maiden's fate fills you with hatred. You fight the overlord with everything you've got. You become strong from the hordes of demons you took down before this final battle. The overlord is almost no match for you. You're cut to pieces. The overlord has fallen. You breathe a sigh of relief, but your job is not yet finished. You search the castle, unfortunately. You find no sign of the maiden within its walls. It's just as you had suspected. She must have already been devoured. You feel hollow. A great evil has been banished from this world, but what does that matter if you're too weak to save somebody? You stand alone amidst the carnage and ponder what it means to be a hero. You return to the overlord's remains and wrap her head in your cape to bring back to the village. Surely your great victory will be celebrated. Failed hero end. Well, at least they're short. That's hilarious. The hero slays the overlord. He never knows what's become of the maiden. Alright, reset the stage, please. Okay, so we are the hero. We are going to skip, and then we're going to flee like a coward. Forgetting your pride, you escape with your life, but you can't return home now. Your reputation will be ruined. You wonder how you'll ever be able to rescue that maiden all on your own if you can't even fight some lousy demon underlings. You'll take your chances at the castle. You're a hero after all. This is your job. Okay, so then we're going to go ask if they'll let you in. You go up to the nearest demon and explain why you've come here. They stare you down and you feel very uncomfortable. They seem to trust you and escort you directly to the overlord's chambers. That was easy. The overlord is alone. You ask about the maiden, but the overlord doesn't seem to know what you're talking about. Was she really never here? You wonder what could have happened to her. The overlord says she wished she could help you, but you're the first human that's come here in forever, at least that she knows of. You think of how you probably shouldn't trust her, seeing as she's a demon and all, but you can't really prove she's lying either. You apologize for the intrusion and return home to your village. The maiden was never found. Useless hero end. Okay. Alright, let's do... So we've got diplomatic and dutiful. What happens if we just do bravely slaughter, cut through? You gather your courage. This is what must be done in order to rescue the maiden. They're all evil demons anyway. The world is much safer with them gone. That's what you tell yourself while you kill one after another on your way to the Overlord's chambers. Okay, and then... Right, so... That doesn't give you anything different. So I'm going to go with diplomatic. And we're going to find out what happened to the bloody maiden. Wait, hang on. We've got dutiful and diplomatic? Okay, let's do just diplomatic for now. You are a maiden. We've got 2 out of 41. Oh, you can just about see it. There's a sign at the top underneath my angel that says bad end, and it points that way. Which is a, you know, the Y is the tutorial up at the top left. B is bad end. I think that just takes you back to the menu. So yes, right. You are a maiden. Let's unlock some maiden options. You are a maiden. You live in a peaceful village next to a spooky demon overlord's castle. You are told that you are fated to be captured by the overlord one day because you are a beautiful young girl. Demon overlords apparently love capturing theirs. I mean, it'd be totally sapphic if that happens, because the overlord was a she. You think of how you haven't heard of that actually happening to anyone, but maybe the demons just haven't been given the opportunity. Who knows? You're in church, you pray to your god asking why you've been born into this role of maiden. You respect the divine plan and all, but you're really just curious as to what the point of it is. You are impatient. Meeting a demon actually sounds pretty gosh darn exciting. Maybe you'd understand your role better if you would just hurry up and get captured already. You leave a note and venture forth to find a demon. Just, you know, see what happens. Not long into your little adventure, a demon underling appears before you. It looks pretty scary. Okay, I'm going to go with introduce yourself. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. The demon suddenly jumps at you and starts biting a lot. How painful. This plan of yours was completely stupid. You think, why couldn't you have been more patient? Why did you go looking for trouble? You aren't angry or anything, of course. This was all your fault for trusting a demon not to devour you on sight. This is your punishment for questioning fate, you guess. Bit by bit, you are swallowed by the demon until you are no more. Consumed maiden end. Okay. The maiden is immediately eaten by the underling. She didn't stand a chance. Okay. Alright, so, maiden. Skip. Shout for hero. You yell, but a hero does not come. The demon suddenly starts. And, okay, this plan of yours was completely stupid. Okay, right. Okay. So, what happens if... Slaughter all the demons. And... Maiden. Shout. Oh. Okay. Right. So, I'm going to make diplomatic. I'm going to make polite. Ah! Underling. Right. Okay. We've got 3 endings now. Okay, so let's change this to see if we can make a change. What's the demon underling going to sound like? Scottish. You're a demon underling in service of the overlord. You aren't particularly strong, but not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard the castle and keep humans away. It's unbearably boring. Heroes rarely come all the way here to challenge the overlord anyway. It's a lot of standing in one place staring at nothing. You feel like you're going to go crazy if you don't get a break. You decide to ask the overlord for a day off. She gives you an earful about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. You wait for her to finish a lecture before returning to your post. What does she know about anything? Who made her the boss of everything? You complain about the overlord to your friends. They agree that she's kind of a snob and totally deserves to be kicked off her throne. You only wanted to vent your frustrations, but the conversation suddenly turned into assassination plot. IBX! You probably should steer this in a responsible direction. Ooh, let's not. Let's just be polite and respectful and whatever. You tell your friends you are totally not serious about this whole thing. You're actually cool with the status quo. After all, life must be pretty dang good if the only thing you have to complain about is that you live so comfortably there's nothing to do. There's nods, but don't seem convinced. You say a coup d'etat would be more of effort than it's worth. But you're still going to be a rebel and sneak out the castle. Your friends praise your mischievous ways. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around in the grass, wild and free. As you make your way along the path to the nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. She greets you and says she has a favour to ask. You consider your options. Let's hear her out. You're in a good mood today and you're rather curious about what the maiden has to say. Humans don't usually talk to you, so this is kind of exciting. You hadn't guessed it would be even possible to understand each other before now. The maiden's going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. But the bottom line, from what you gather, is she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present it to the Overlord. When the Overlord asks you why you found this maiden, knowing full well you left the castle when you weren't supposed to, you apologise for disobeying her, but hope that the maiden is an interesting enough present that you might be forgiven. The Overlord nods and sees everything's cool as long as you always listen to her from now on. You're impressed with what an easygoing boss she is. You mention how you can't believe you and your friends even considered overthrowing her. She gives you a look and you see, that was just a joke, of course. She smiles and dismisses you. You decide it's about time for a nap. You don't get to sleep long. Your friends woke you up. Rude. One of them's stepping on you pretty hard. You ask them what a deal is. They say they've been planning a whole revolution. They're going to get rid of the current Overlord and put a new ruler in place. They want to have you out, and being a pretty lazy underling, your close reply with, that sounds like a bit of trouble. How about we just skip it instead? Your friends question your loyalty to their cause. I mean, this is going to be a bad end. It's got a skull, but she's actually not so bad, you guys. Your friends seem pretty disappointed. They apologise to you, but before you can ask what they're sorry about, one of them suddenly seizes you. Someone who's still loyal to the Overlord really has no place in our castle, you understand, right? Their claws tighten around your neck. You don't bother to struggle. You're outnumbered. You already know how things like this end. This is a pretty messed up thing to do to a friend, you tell them. They slit your throat in response. Faithful underling and reset the stage. The underling stays loyal to the Overlord and pays with their life. Okay, so right now, let's see what happens with the maiden if we introduce ourselves. Okay, right, so you tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. You tell them that you were thinking maybe you could understand your role better if you were to hurry up and get taken away by a demon already. The demon doesn't seem to have been really listening to you, which is a little irritating. They agreed to take you to their master nonetheless. After a long walk to the castle, you were introduced to the Overlord. She lectures the underling that brought you here, who is apparently told not to leave their post. You wonder what cruel punishment awaits them. But to your surprise, she lets them off easily. The underling is dismissed and the Overlord turns to you, looking very interested. You explain why you've come and she squints at you. It turns out she never had any plans to capture maidens or do anything else that would agitate the humans. You wonder for a moment if she might be lying, but it doesn't seem like it at all still. This doesn't make any sense to you. I've always been told that demons would one day seek you out and something awful would happen and then a hero would come to your rescue. You don't want to believe that you've been lied to all along. Maybe it's just that you haven't been maiden-like enough. You ask the Overlord what you should do to be a more suitable maiden, but she doesn't seem to understand. Just go home and stop worrying about destiny so much. She makes it sound so simple. This Overlord seems like the complete opposite of you. You want to learn more about her and how she thinks. You insist on staying to talk with her more. The Overlord tells you that again that you should just get lost. How rude, you just got here. Refuse to leave. You put your foot down and tell her you're not going anywhere. You still want to fulfill your destiny, even if you have to make it happen on your own. She's a little frustrated of your stubbornness, but she doesn't kick you out or anything. Hooray! The Overlord shares many stories about demons with you. And little by little, you realise they might not be the ruthless monsters you were raised to believe. As it turns out, she commanded her demons to avoid towns and villages. She didn't want to risk giving the humans any excuse to send a hero out after them. You realise that must be why you've never heard of any demons attacking your town. You express your gratitude to the Overlord on behalf of your village. She says you can thank her by telling the humans to stop raising heroes. She's tired of her servants getting killed off by them. You always thought demons were violent and unreasonable creatures, but it seems the Overlord would say the same of humans. You may be different, but really, they're just trying to live their lives same as you. You feel like you're starting to understand things a lot better. But maybe everything I've said was to deceive you and the other humans. What would you do if I turned out to be super evil all along? Even if she were to capture you now, you think this place is far more interesting than the way things are back home. You kind of like not being told to expect demons to come after you all the time. You feel free. Honestly, you've always kept to yourself, but spending time with this overlord has been very nice. You feel butterflies in your stomach. As you think that, a hero enters the room. You're surprised to see him at first until you realise he must have been sent to retrieve you. Confused, the hero asks you what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you're never in any danger. The hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hasn't led to any horrible consequences. You apologise for causing trouble, but really, didn't anyone read the note you left? Jeez. The hero asks if you return to the village with him to give everyone the news of your safety. The overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you give her a little wave as you exit the room. Go back soon. You're about halfway back to the village when you feel something is off. Unable to shake your concern, you look back over your shoulder. You stop in your tracks. The castle is engulfed in flames. Is the overlord alright? You can't return to the village like this. You have to know. You have to be sure everyone's safe. You've already taken off before the hero can even think of stopping you. You scan the fleeing demons, but the overlord isn't among them. Against your better judgment, you rush into the burning castle to find her. You quickly reach the overlord's room, but the door is shut tight. The handle is too hot to touch. You're too weak to force it open. You pound your fists against the door helplessly. What are you thinking? This is all because you'd forgotten your role. Only a hero could pull this kind of thing off. You start to cough. The smoke is too thick, you can hardly breathe. You realise you haven't got much time left now. You desperately head towards the stairs to save yourself. But the fire spread faster than you expected. You won't make it outside. You can't help but laugh. What a joke. A maiden saving the overlord. If you'd just stayed true to your role, things wouldn't have ended like this. This is exactly the kind of punishment you deserve. You let the demon fire cleanse your rotten soul. Selfless maiden and B. The maiden tries to save the overlord from the burning castle. I mean, we are totally playing all the, good choices, not the bad choices, but heck, this is fun. I like seeing how it works. Okay. So, let's do a bit of overlord. Right. You are the overlord. You live in a castle surrounded by your demon servants. It's a pretty cushy life, you think? Except for those pesky humans who keep killing members of your army. There's even a role called hero, whose whole purpose is in life just to dethrone you. It's their deal anyway. You've actually avoided pissing off the humans in the hope they'll leave you and your army alone. But they never do. You're still new to the whole overlord thing, if you're quite honest with yourself, but you don't really understand the politics of it. But you remind yourself everyone is just doing their best to fulfill their roles. You won't let them bait you into being the evil overlord they expect. You think you're pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to a higher standard like that. One of your underlings walks into the room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. They're saying something about how boring it is to stand in one place guarding the castle all the time, especially since no one ever comes here anyway. You see their point, but the way they're whining about it kind of bothers you. What to do with this underling? Grant them the day. You tell them to go take a break from the stifling castle atmosphere and refresh their dark soul. A day off should be fine once in a while. They thank you and happily scurry off to do who knows what. You have nothing better to do today, so you decide to nap for a little while. Being the overlord sure is great. Oh. You awake to a knock on your door. The underling from earlier brought back some company. It's a maiden from the nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. A maiden then goes on to say that she's been getting very impatient thinking about her impending capture, so she's come here just to speed things along. You appreciate her honesty, but regret to inform her you never had any plans to capture any humans. She seems very disappointed by this. Perhaps I'm not performing my role well enough. How can I become more maiden-like? I rolled my eyes there, sorry. You don't really understand the question. You think this world puts way too much focus on destiny and junk. Just go home and stop worrying about it, you tell her. The maiden seems to be having a hard time wrapping her head around this. She insists that she stay and talk to you more. You feel warm inside as she looks into your eyes. This is the first time a human has looked at you without contempt. You wonder what to say. Let her stay for a while. You can't bring yourself to send this maiden away. She just got here. You enjoy a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. She expresses her surprise that demons are not all what she expected them to be. You are glad that she seems to have an open mind about these kinds of things. You also bring up how you always instruct your army to avoid humans, as not to agitate them and get heroes sent out after you. Oh, now I've got the hiccups as well. That explains why the people of my village have been left unharmed. It's because of your orders, isn't it? We are very grateful. You're surprised to hear her thank you. You've always thought of humans to be violent and unreasonable, but that's why your servants are always getting killed, despite your efforts to leave them alone. But this maiden is different. You joke that maybe you've been lying to her this whole time and you're actually super evil all along. The maiden laughs at that, saying she wouldn't mind being held captive here. The people in her village are a little exhausting at times, she says. You can't tell if she's into you or not. Oh, this is totally turning this into a love story. You're interrupted by another human in your doorway. This time it's a hero. He was apparently searching for the maiden, who was rumoured to have been captured by your kind. Captured? Not at all. I only wanted to meet with the Overlord. Didn't anyone read the note I left behind? After everything is explained, the hero expresses his relief that the whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. The maiden apologises for causing trouble, and the hero asks her to return to the village with him. Confusing feelings well up inside your heart. You're surprised that you had one of those to begin with. You don't want the hero to take this maiden away from you. But I feel like we're trying to get the best ending first, and then we'll go and do all the bad things. You're certain that she'll return to spend more time with you. You just have to trust in that. You decide with the hero. With the hero and the maiden gone, you plop down on the comfort of your luxurious overlord bed. Your room feels so empty now. Is this loneliness? I hope your new friend will be back soon. You close your eyes for a while, until your door slams shut. Before you know it, everything around you is being engulfed by flames. What's going on? You try to escape, but something's blocking the door. You're having trouble forcing it open. What is this? Someone didn't want you getting out. Are you being usurped? They have zero foresight. What castle will they rule from if this one burns? You don't want to believe that your underlings have betrayed you, but this is no accident. Those ungrateful bastards. You choke on the thick black smoke from the fire. You can't believe you're being done in by a bunch of cowards. You'll see them in hell. Burned, Overlord End. Okay. Reset. Right, so let's do the hero again. See what we can get now. We flee like a coward and ask if they'll let you in. Right. There we go. So it's got you directly to... Okay. The Overlord and Maiden seem to be in the middle of some casual conversation when you barge in. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. No time to hesitate. Ask the Maiden what's going on. The Maiden explains that she was never actually captured and that she came here of her own volition. That was a pretty dangerous thing of her to do, but no one got hurt, so at least that's that. You ask her to return to town with you to reassure everyone of her safety. The Overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you casually exit the castle. You try to make conversation with the Maiden, but she's been pretty quiet since leaving the Overlord's room. Is she shy? She suddenly stops in her tracks, and you turn your head to ask what the deal is. Hey, the Overlord's castle is engulfed in flames. You can't help but feel relieved you got the Maiden out of there when you did, but she suddenly takes off towards the burning castle. Panic sets in, and you follow her to try and stop her. The smoke is so thick you've already lost sight of her. What is she thinking? It's too dangerous to continue. You feel hopeless. You stand alone at the castle gates. Your body won't allow you to take another step forward. No, going in there would be suicide. You return to the villagers and tell them there was nothing you could do. You were too late. The maiden was claimed by the demons. Ah, bystander envy. Okay. Reset. Right, in which case... Underling? Got an underling and see how it goes. Alright, she's... Okay, so... Decide to ask the Overlord for a day off. Hang on, what's this one? Ah, she's surprisingly cool with it. Nice. You set out on your adventure outside the castle. A change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around in the grass, wild and free. As you make your way along the path to a nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. She greets you. Consider your options. Air route. Okay, so... Okay. Satisfied with the idea, you take the maiden back to the castle and present it to the Overlord. They seem to be getting along just fine, so you decide it's about time for a nap. I think demon underling has to prevent it. You don't get to sleep long. Your friends wake you up rude. One of them stepping on you pretty hard. You ask them what the deal is. They say they're planning a whole revolution. They're going to get rid of the current Overlord and put a new ruler in place. They want to hear if you're in or out. Being a pretty lazy underling, you of course reply with, "Ah, it sounds like a lot of trouble. How about we just skip it instead?" Your friends question their loyalty. Okay, so We already tried. She's actually not so bad, you guys. So let's kill the Overlord. You tell them you're just joking and clarify you're totally in it to win it. They see you always terrible with jokes. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the Overlord, you know how bad it'll be to end up on the wrong side of things. And if this assassination deal doesn't pan out, you can just pretend you were innocent all along. But beneath your shield of full confidence, you worry about what you're getting yourself dragged into. You follow your friends outside the castle to talk more about the plan. You're curious if you have any idea how they want to go about this. They figure they just lock her in a room and set it on fire. A stupid plan. It could go wrong in so many ways. You realise your friends are just a bunch of directionless thugs, useless without someone's guidance, your guidance. There'd probably be casualties if you fought to head on, and while showy deaths make a revolution a heck of a lot more fun, it's probably the wrong way to go. Your friends agree and suggest you play the assassin. You already didn't want it to come down to this. But you can't back down now, you have to be the one to assassinate the Overlord. Besides, no one's got any better ideas. You and your friends turn to notice a pair of humans have overheard your entire conversation. They take off into the castle and they headed to the Overlord's room. Fuck. The Overlord will kill you for sure if she found out you were conspiring to take her out. You dash into the castle after the humans. Sure enough, the maiden's already frantically telling the Overlord everything. You shout that the humans are liars! Your friends soon arrive to back you up, except they don't. Instead, they blame the whole thing on you. They cry that it was all your idea and they were just going with the flow, too scared to refuse your crazy plan. You can't believe they'd tell the Overlord such a blatant lie. Can't you know better than to trust them? You're the one that didn't have a choice here. They all shout at each other until the Overlord demands silence. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. She sounds tough, but lately all she does is sleep. You doubt her strength. You hear your traitorous friends mutter something about going back to Plan A, and suddenly the door slams shut. You're trapped in here with the Overlord and the two humans, and then the room bursts into flames. You pound on the door, screaming curses at those who betrayed you. The hero joins you, vowing to slay the lot of them. You wish you'd get that chance. The Overlord grabs you by the throat. You cry for mercy. You are forced into this mess. You're sure now that they would have killed you if you'd sided with her. But the Overlord doesn't hear your pleas. She drives her claws into your chest. At least she made it quick. Okay. Traitor underling end. Reset. Okay. Now. Alright, we've been disloyal. Right, now we're gonna grant them the day off. Let us stay. Let them go. Okay, right. You hope your new friend will be back soon. You close your eyes for a while. You've almost fallen asleep when the maiden and the hero burst into your room, frantically trying to communicate something to you. You're told that a group of demons is plotting to assassinate you. You're not surprised. How nice of the humans to care, though. One of your underling barges in next, shouting that the humans are liars. They're followed by another group of demons, crying that everything was that first underling's plan. Everyone is shouting over each other now, and it's very annoying. You yell for all of them to shut their traps. You have no doubt that your servants would let their ambition cloud their judgment and lead them to try and take your throne. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone, keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. Saying that made you feel very Overlord-like. You aren't sure if you have the strength to back it up, though. Lately, all you do is sleep. The group of demons starts muttering about something about going back to Plan A, and suddenly the door slams shut. You, the maiden, the hero, and one of your underlings are trapped inside. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. The underling pounds on the door, cursing at their friends for betraying them. The hero pounds on the door as well, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. So, this is how you'll die, burned alive in your own room by those you thought you could trust. You should have expected this from a bunch of idiot demons, though. You notice the maiden crying. Why does she have to die over something that has nothing to do with her? Perhaps she was cursed from the moment she spoke to you. You wonder if you're cursed as well. You're so filled with anger and frustration, you don't even notice you've grabbed the underling those traitors blamed everything on. They cry for mercy, saying that they were dragged into this plot, knowing they'd be killed if they took your side. They cry that they didn't want to have to kill you. You almost feel sorry for them. I'm going to forgive them. Release the underling, killing them wouldn't make you feel any better. Besides, they've already gotten their punishment. You'll all burn together. Okay. Overlord's true end. Ooh. You'll learn, but I'm still dying. We're all dying together. Before you're taken back to reset the story once again, you pause for a moment. True end, you say to yourself. What's the point of all my effort if the true end is this terrible? You must have forgotten where you were. This is bad end theatre. Is the pain setting in? Oh, but you should have been well aware of what you'd be shown when you entered this place. It's a problem I've seen quite often. At some point, you grew attached to my little cast. You started to relate to their flaws, their plights. You started wishing for their happy. I really did. But you aren't going to find that here in my theatre. My lovingly crafted labyrinth of suffering. Oh, some gorgeous words there. Anyway, I hope you'll pardon the interruption. You're making great progress. The choice to continue on to the next ending is always yours. I'll leave you to it, dear guest. Reset the stage. Okay. So, let's try Hero again. Alright, so, flee like a coward. Ask if they'll let you in. Ask the maiden what's going on. Okay, right. So, the Overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you casually exit the castle. You pause when you see a group of suspicious demons standing at the entrance. They're talking about assassinating their Overlord. This proves to you that demons really are foul creatures. We have to tell her about this. You don't understand what the maiden is thinking. The world is better off with less demons. They're all cold, ruthless creatures that should be destroyed. And these same creatures have just noticed you eavesdropping. The maiden takes off into the castle, and you have no choice but to follow. You burst into the Overlord's room. The maiden frantically tries to communicate what you just overheard. A demon underling barges in next, calling you liars. It's followed by the group from the entrance. You shift the blame back onto the little one. These demons only care about themselves. How low can they be? You begin shouting at them, and the whole room dissolves into noise until the Overlord yells for everyone to shut their traps. She threatens them with violence. This Overlord is no better than her subjects. You grip your sword tightly. If you have to cut through everyone to get this maiden to safety, you certainly will. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the runt of the litter behind. You glance around for another exit, but there isn't one. You have a terrible feeling about this. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. What kind of demonic magic is this? The underling pounds on the door, upset that it's been betrayed. I love the use of colour in this game. Like, each character has their own, like, theme, and then it colours the pictures. This one is particularly good. The underling pounds on the door, upset that it's been betrayed. You join it, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. The next moment, the Overlord has taken hold of the underling. Oh my god, Overlord, underling, it's crying for mercy. Is she going to kill it as retribution? It continues to cry and make excuses, but the Overlord does nothing. To your surprise, she lets it go. Are demons capable of mercy? You guessed it, doesn't matter now. You'll all burn together. Okay. Hero's true end. No matter the perspective, the true ending remains the same. That's what makes it true. You couldn't resist seeing it for yourself, though, could you? I wonder what will happen when you collect them all. Will you give in to despair, or reset the stage? Okay. I'll do the maiden last. Alright. Okay. Underling. Here are ants. We've got to go... Okay, it's killed the Overlord. Alright. There we go. To your surprise, the Overlord spares you? Or maybe she'd rather see you suffer instead. Looking around, you've just gone from one dead end to the other. The maiden is crying, the hero is silent. You'll all burn together. Underling's true end! Oh, I didn't even get a smarmy comment then. That's hilarious. Okay, right. The maiden! We've got 11 out of 41 endings now. Alright, you're a maiden. Introduce yourself. Alright, okay. Be back soon. Near the castle's entrance, you spy a group of suspicious demons congregating. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. You have to warn her. But the hero shakes his head. He says that if this is the true nature of demons, the world is better off with less of them. This isn't right, you think. What kind of hero passes up the chance to save a life? The demons have taken notice of you. It's now or never. You take off into the castle and the unreliable hero follows shortly after. You burst into the Overlord's room, all your words spilling out at once. You should probably slow down, but there's no time. The Overlord seems to have followed your frantic explanation, but clearly doesn't understand the urgency of your situation. The underling you recognise from before barges in, calling you a liar. You're surprised they were a part of this evil plot. They seem so nice. The other demons come in right after them, saying the whole thing was the first underling's idea. Everyone's shouting at each other. It's really stressing you out. You're relieved when the Overlord demands silence. She threatens them with violence, and you think she's very Overlord-like in this moment. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door and leaving the little one behind. You watch as it pounds on the door in distress. Have they locked you all in? You have a bad feeling about this. And thinking that must have jinxed it, because now the room is engulfed in flames. If only you ignored those demons before, you and the hero wouldn't have stumbled into the situation. If you just pretended not to hear them, if you left as you were told, only the Overlord would have been killed. But you couldn't have done that. That path isn't an option for you. You think that no matter what, you'll always strive for the path where everyone survives. It must exist! It simply must! The Overlord seizes that underling. They beg for their life. You pray. You don't know what else to do, so you just pray. The Overlord spares the underling. You feel relieved, but doesn't it make any difference? Will you all burn together? Dun dun dun! Maiden true end. It can't end like this! You want to answer the maiden's prayers. You've decided to find a way to save everyone, but retracing the paths you've seen so far, there doesn't seem to be any room to avoid a bad ending. Is there really nothing you can do to keep them all from getting killed in the end? ... There's nothing you can do by acting from within their story. Maybe it's time to take things into your own hands. Oh my god! I am question mark. I drop a save, but doesn't seem to be much I can really do there. Tragedy, the narrator, storyteller, and god of this world. Is that a spoiler? Okay, you are question mark. So hero on fire, maiden on fire, underling on fire, overlord on fire. You boldly insert yourself into the story and use your incredible power to warp everyone to safety. I didn't know you could do that, but what's going on here? You take a moment to get a good look at yourself. You are you, but why are you pitch black? You feel that this body doesn't accurately represent you, but you move past it. The hero, the maiden, the underling, and the overlord have been staring at you too. They look like they don't really know what they're supposed to do right now. You guess that's because you're usually the one guiding them. What will you say to them? Hi guys! You smile awkwardly and introduce yourself. The maiden is the first to respond. My prayers have been answered. You must be... a god? No, you're merely the player. If there was any god here, they'd be the final boss. That's just how these role-playing games go. And now you realise what the real true ending must be. No, enough of this. I admit I've been encouraging you all along, but a self-insert story. How passé. You watch helplessly as tragedy descends from the heavens. You didn't honestly believe you were the only one who could force your way into this stage, did you? I am the narrator, storyteller, god of this world. Call me Tragedy if you'd like. Darkness envelops your party. You don't mind if I send each of them back to relive one of their many bad endings, right? You are alone in the darkness with me, Tragedy. I sincerely hope you've been enjoying your time in my theatre. Though I can't abide you stealing the show without permission, it's quite disrespectful. Say something new. Are you trying to say my bad endings have gone out of style? You have some nerve. You think defeating me might just be the only way to see a better ending? It's all that's left for you, isn't it? Well, this does sound like it could be entertaining. Show me what you've got. Time to fight God. Why not? The stage is set for your final battle against me, the god of this world. What will you do? How will you fight against tragedy itself? I'd love to see it. Okay, defend. You try closing off your heart to protect yourself, but it doesn't make you feel any better. Oh, is that all? You'll never defeat me like that. Wait, let me try that again. Defend. Perhaps you don't understand just how outclassed you are here. Behold my beautiful tragic tales. Doesn't seeing them all again make your heart ache? You've witnessed 12 of my painstakingly crafted endings. Your heart doesn't need ache for these characters. How could you want to put an end to all this? Do you truly care for them that much? They're still suffering backstage, you know. It's a shame they couldn't make it here, to the end of the world. That's right, you came here to save them. You can't do this alone. Okay. Summon. You find the hero in his home, hunched over a sewing table. Your sudden intrusion scares the hell out of the poor guy. Are you some kind of demon? You explain that no, you're not a demon. How can you explain it in a way the hero can understand? Instead, you ask what he's sewing. Oh, this? I craft all my own hero gear. He senses pride in his hobby. You wonder if the costumes are what attracted him to the role of hero. Would you like some clothes? You don't seem to be wearing any. You remember the state of your body and decide that yes, some clothes from the hero would be nice. He's overjoyed by your answer. Apparently his outfits are far too gaudy for the other townsfolk, so nobody wants them. The true end for the hero suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change his fate. I could make a living as a tailor rather than a hero. Please, tell me what I can do to reach that dream. The hero will now fight alongside you. I agreed to follow you, but I didn't expect to face something like this. The hero has arrived. We really couldn't have a final boss battle without him. You're the one who's been killing us, murderer. I can't truly call myself a hero until I see you defeated. We'll see about that. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Okay, we've got willpower and justice. Alright, summon. You happen to find the maiden as she exits the church, her heart set on meeting a demon. Perfect timing. As she approaches you, having already taken notice of your odd form. Excuse me, are you a traveller? I've never seen anyone like you before. You explain that no, you're not a traveller. Well, maybe you are in a sense. You've come all this way. The maiden regards you with excited curiosity. Perhaps you might be a demon. I was hoping I would meet one today. You think of all the terrible fates that hope would bring about. She's the catalyst of the story, after all. My role as a maiden is to be captured by the Overlord, you see, but I've grown so tired of waiting. You remember this part. She wanted to understand her role better, and so... You ask what it is she's really hoping to gain from this. The maiden is confused by your question. Perhaps it was as simple as wanting to reach the place she felt like she belonged. The true end for this maiden suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. If there's something I could do to find fulfillment, then please guide me. The maiden will now fight alongside you. What is this horrible creature? You wound me, dear maiden. Is tragedy really such a terrible thing to behold? I remember now. I remember all the awful things you've put us through. Then this should be familiar to you as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. But only the ones we've unlocked, so... Okay. Alright. So... Our HP is going down. Shit. Okay, so... Willpower? Ah. Well, Reign of Tragedy ends here. Your Reign of Terror ends here, Tragedy. I refuse to give in. The hero uses his willpower to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. Okay, so I'm going to use hope. Our true endings do exist. They simply must. The maiden hopes with all her heart to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. Okay, so... Summon. You approach the gates of the Overlord's castle. The underlings on guard duty as you expected. They call out to you. The other demon guard is sound asleep. Actually, because I feel like I'm going to get stuck in a bit of a loop here. I'm just going to have a quick break and get some more tea. And then we will do some true ending and then maybe see if we can get some more bad endings, or maybe I have to restart for that, in which case I will do that because, you know, it won't take long to buff all those up. We won't do them on stream, but yeah. Anyway, quick break first and I'll be back. I'm back. I have tea. I had a little bit of chocolate. I am me. Oh, no, don't return to character select. There we go. Right. They call out to you. The other demon guard is sound asleep. Yeah, pretty weird-looking intruder. What do you want? I explain that no, you're not an intruder, although you're definitely intruding to the story right now. You tell the underling you've come to save him from tragedy. Can you try saving me from boredom first? I hate this job. The underling snickers. You ask what kind of job they'd rather have. It'd be best if I didn't have to work at all. I just want to live a carefree life and never get bossed around or picked on. You think of the underling's friends who had bullied them into an assassination plot, only to betray them in the end. If they get better company, maybe they wouldn't feel so restless. The true end for the underlings suddenly becomes clear. You have to change their fate. I mean, the hero is possibly becoming a tailor, but what about everyone else? So there's a way that even work can be fun? Sounds feek, but I'll tag along with you, Stinkies. The underling will now fight alongside you. Okay. Wait, what the fuck? You didn't say anything about a boss battle? The underling. You must be desperate to call on such an unreliable ally. Huh? If I beat this guy up, all my problems will be over? Oh, but it won't be that easy. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to do some tenacity. Knock me down and I'll just come back stronger. The underling uses their tenacity to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. Okay, we've only got 3 HP. I guess we'll summon and then hope that we don't die. You enter the Overlord's room, relieved. Oh my god, word. Relieved to see the fire contained to the torches on the walls. When you close the door behind you, the Overlord rises from her slumber. Who are you? Have you come to reside in my castle and serve me? You explain that no, you're not here to serve her. It's more like you've come to do her a favour. You ask why she spends all her day sleeping instead of commanding a demon army. She laughs in response. Many of my underlings certainly think I should be more aggressive with the humans, like my father before me. His quest for revenge was endless and self-perpetuating. Some reason I had to destroy him. I but think it's a little late in the game to be getting some new backstory. I have no interest in waging war on the humans. I merely wish to be left alone to live a peaceful, indulgent life in my castle. You realise she actually must be very lonely, only surrounded by soldiers instead of friends. No wonder she gets so attached to the maiden. The true end for the Overlord suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. My own attempts at peace have been rather imperfect. If you offer a solution, then very well, I will follow you. The Overlord will now fight alongside you. I wonder if we maybe need to get all the bad endings to get the full true one, but phew. I see. So this is tragedy. I've brought the Overlord. I don't stand a chance now. You prevented me from obtaining peace for long enough. Prepare to die. Ha 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 ha. I hope you're prepared to face your deaths as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Oh, only 1 HP there. Ha! Now that the whole party's here, can you solve my final puzzle? Which combination of behaviors will open the path to your true ending? Show me. Okay, I'm gonna add ambition. I'll reach my true ending with my own power. The Overlord uses her ambitious nature to overcome tragedy. This is it. With everyone's hearts united, you take an aim toward your best possible futures. You unleash one final attack to destroy tragedy once and for all. Tragedy! The feeling's gone, you can't go on, it's tragedy. Don't hard to believe, but someone to love you going. Da-da. Sorry. We did it first time. Possibly. That's pretty cool. Ha ha ha, you've done it, you've managed to defeat me. A tragic ending for tragedy itself. I love it. I must thank you all for fulfilling your roles perfectly. Thank you, Hero, starring Hero as himself. Thank you, Maiden, starring Maiden as herself. Thank you, Underling, starring Underling as himself. Thank you, Overlord, starring Overlord as herself. Enough of this nonsense. We defeated you, so die already. Don't worry, I'll be making my exit shortly. Written and produced by Tragedy. Directed by you. Finally, thank you most of all. We couldn't have made it here without you. Yes, my bad ancestor did contain a truly good ending after all, and I apologize for antagonizing you for so long. I wanted to deliver a satisfying story. Was I able to do it, I wonder? No. Well, I did my best. Happy endings shouldn't always come easily. Reality is not so kind. But you've earned this one. Here's your true endings. Excuse me. Your true end. You conquered tragedy, freed the actors from their terrible fates. Nom 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 nummy. Ah, he became a tailor. Okay. Oh! He became a stripper! To the lost, the cold. Take your seats, everyone. Welcome to Bad End Theatre. And the curtain's closed. Aw, the Overlord made it together. Maybe you'll come back stronger, maybe you'll break. Not my fault you sought this pain. Oh. Okay, this is for the song, sorry. Okay. So they live together. This is what the song is saying. I'm sorry. Miss you, my darling. Your true end. No, I think it is. Exit the theatre. Okay, so if we do enter. Ah, so you weren't done with my bad endings and now you're back for more. You'll have to cancel out your true ending if you want to go back to the way things were before our final battle. Should we begin the resetting process? Yeah, let's reset. There are two options. If you missed out on seeing all 41 bad endings, you can keep your progress and reset to before you start the true ending. Or you can erase all your progress and replay the game as if it's your very first time. You'll have to collect everything all over again. You can't take this back, so choose carefully. Just reset to before true end. Progress has been reset. You are now free to enjoy the rest of my bad endings. Okay, enter. I like this. This game is like talking to me quite well. I like it. So okay, so we've got a whole bunch of endings to discover. So bravely slaughter, cut through the demon army. Oh, we just die. Okay. Okay. Flee like a coward. Ask if they'll let you in. No. Okay. Shout for a hero. Okay. Let's overthrow her. No, you're sick of this overlord holding you and your friends back. You agree that it's time for a change of management. Your friends suggest maybe you should be the new overlord. You like the sound of that? You announce your first act of rebellion is to take that day off like you wanted. Your friends aren't very impressed. You ensure them you'll talk more about the assassination thing when you get back, which satisfies them. You sneak out the castle to have some fun. She seems very frightened and screams at her to come save her. Consider your options. Tell her to quit yelling. When the maiden realizes you're not going to hurt her, she regains her composure. Now she's starting talking to you like you're friends or something. You don't understand humans at all. You speak the same language, of course, which has always confused you. Because why is there conveniently only one language in the world? If demons and humans have independent societies, wouldn't it make sense for them each to have their own language? The maiden's going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. The bottom line, from what you gather, is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you got nothing better to do. Satisfied with the idea, you take the maiden back to the castle and present it to the Overlord. Okay. So we tried that. And then, okay, we still died there. Okay, but we did something different, so... Shout for a hero. The demons, put off by your sudden shouting, and ask you to keep it down. You apologise. They seem more confused and hostile, which totally catches you off guard. Tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. Tell them you're thinking maybe you could understand your role better. Blah. So, obedient. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. Along the way, you encounter a hero. You see what you're doing. Don't you know the Overlord's castle is, like, right there? You explain everything that happened. The hero seems to think you're lying to him and asks if you've been brainwashed by the demons. What nerve. You're very upset that the so-called hero would treat you this way and leave in a huff. You return to the village alone. Everyone's very worried about you. They surround you with 1,000 questions and you tell them your story. As you explain that the Overlord never had any intentions to harm anyone around here, you note the looks of uncertainty in the crowd. People are whispering things to each other while you speak to them. You're loudly interrupted by an older man who rudely calls you a demon sympathizer. The crowd is growing unruly. You don't understand. You've only told them the truth. Do they not believe you? Everyone begins speculating what much of that actually happened. They were either elaborate lies and asked you to prove your innocence. How could you have returned without the aid of a hero, they asked. You could have possibly have escaped the Overlord on your own without harm. You must be conspiring with the demons, trying to trick everyone into believing they aren't the horrible creatures we know them to be, so they say. Have people in your village always been this blinded by their fears and hatreds of things they've never cared to know? Yeah, probably. You wonder how you missed that before. You are seized by the crowd, and voices from all sides are calling for a public execution. You're to be burned at the stake. Burn the witch. You don't want to die. You wonder, would it have been better to hide the truth? You don't like the thought of that. You always lived honestly. Why has this happened? Why are you being punished? You hear the dissenting voices of your family and neighbours, but they, like you, are powerless against momentum. They can only watch as you burn, and you can only cry for them. You are so, so sorry. Executed maiden end. Reset. Okay, so maiden, shout, refuse to leave. Okay. Oh gosh, the Overlord's claws pierce the underling's chest. They scream, an awful scream. She digs and twists her claws into the poor thing while you continue to pray. There's no saving any of you now. You, the Overlord, and the hero and the underling's corpse are consumed by flames. Devout maiden end. We didn't get that one because we did them in the different order. Flee. Diplomatic. Destroy the Overlord. You lunge forward, driving your blade through the evil Overlord. She screams, then falls silent. The Overlord has been slain. You smile, offering the maiden your hand. She takes it after slight hesitation. She must be surprised at how strong you are. You escort the maiden home. She's oddly quiet on the trek back to the village. She must be too shy to speak. The villagers are very pleased with what a good job you've done, slaying the Overlord and saving the hostage, and they throw a huge celebration in your name. You are remembered for generations as the greatest hero the village has ever seen. Triumphant hero end. That's not really a bad ending, though. Well, not for the hero. Okay, 15. Spectator end. Tragic hero. Naive hero. Unlucky hero. Loyal hero. Resigned hero. Complacent maiden. Captured maiden. Maiden is slain. Slaughtered maiden. Maiden dies to protect the Overlord. She accepts his fate. Maiden is saved. Escaped maiden. Imprisoned maiden. Performer underling. Deserter underling. Victorious underling. Heroic underling. Lord underling. I mean, these don't sound like bad endings for the underling. Cowardly underling. Wrathful Overlord. Wrathful. Conquered Overlord. Slain Overlord. Selfish Overlord. Vengeful Overlord. Assassinated Overlord. The Overlord. Weakened. Betrayed Overlord. Spiteful Overlord. Oh, come on, let's have a look at the secrets. Puppet Master. Unlock all behaviors. Yep, back. Which was my fault. Unlock 41 bad endings. Lose to your final boss. We did not do that. We just accidentally win. Reach the true ending. Oh no, there's another ending. Reset the story after reaching tragedy's end. We can do that. Total reset. I think that's probably enough for, you can see how it works. We didn't reach the true ending. If you want to know how you do that, you're going to have to play it yourself. So yeah, we got 17 of the achievements. We've unlocked, I'm assuming there's more things that we can unlock underneath all of them. We've got Tyrant, Antisocial, Possessive, and Merciful. And then Hungry, Disloyal, Polite, Obedient, Dutiful, Heroic, Diplomatic. So, yeah. Let's just drop a save. And then, no, not replay the tutorial, back. Oh, okay, how do I get back? Why? Exit the theatre. There we go. Cool, so, Bad End Theatre. That was really cool, I enjoyed that. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna call it a day and take advantage of some energy to read a book. She says yawning. Honestly, I have energy. It's just, body is tired, so I will use that energy to read a book. And I'll be back on Saturday with whatever Jessie has decided we're playing, because it's a co-stream, and Sunday is Persona, because that's a nice, easy weekend. I don't have to make any other decisions. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much to Jessie for the 69-month subscription renewal And congrats on the 405 stream streak. Redonkulous. Love it. And everyone else that's just been here and lurking, you've got a moment to grab your daily if you haven't already. Otherwise, I've been Jo, otherwise known as Angel SK. Catch you later. Bye.